Yo, I know a lot of people been looking at this thing far as running back of who we should go get in these sorts, but there could be a situation and scenario that Jeanty could be back in play. The Raiders reportedly are checking the availability of Seattle Seahawks Kenneth Walker. Now, what do they mean? Meaning that if they fool around and get him, then it could be a situation and scenario that the Cowboys can have Jeanty falling right back into place. Now, there are situations where it's not the Browns, but the Bears may look at Jeanty and say, yeah, we would like to have him for their particular team. Or to a degree, the 49ers, they could be looking at Jeanty. But this is what I got from Dane, and I really appreciate my guy Andre. Let's listen.
But with Jeanty, I think if you squint, you can see shades of LaDainian Tomlinson. You can. And a big part of that is the way that he catches the ball out of the backfield. That is a key part of what makes Jeanty so special. And, yeah, you can point to, all right, did a lot of his damage against Mountain West competition, and all that. But you watched the Oregon tape, even against Penn State. I know like the numbers weren't great, but tell me what yards he didn't get that he should have on that tape. It's
exactly. And so many people want to use that one tape of Penn State to say, hey, he's not going to be any good in the National Football League. And they all be saying the same thing that they hear from others, right? But they didn't look at Penn State defense. They didn't allow a single 100-yard rusher until Jeanty came on. And onto this particular situation, until Jeanty played against them, pause if necessary. But what I'm getting at, ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to use that Penn State game as a by far definitive reason to not draft Ashton Jeanty, then you should say the same about Travis Hunter. When he was trying to cover that Stanford kid, Elite, I think that's his name, when he snatched the ball over his head and ran it in for a touchdown. That means that Elite, however you say that kid's name, y'all know who I'm talking about, the Stanford wide receiver, is better than Travis Hunter if you want to use low-hanging fruit conversations to be able to draw out your point. Now, Penn State, you can name several people on Penn State's defense and as well as on their offense, but you can't name me the people that was on Boise. And I'm not using that as the overall reason to draft, dare I say, Ashton Jeanty. But can you imagine if everybody is focused on stopping Jeanty? And you still have a Lamb that's available. You still have Jake Ferguson that's available. You still have whoever we may go out and get available. If you're trying to load the box, teams said, hey, we're going to give you a light front when you playing against the Dallas Cowboys. The loaded box thing, they didn't do that because they wasn't in fear of the run, ladies and gentlemen.
His
last
built
season
low to the ground really helps him with the balance, the ability to break tackles. The contact balance is absurd. So, yeah, I think if he's there at 12, it makes perfect sense for this team.
Come on with
when you say, sure, they were against Mountain West teams, he also had Mountain West offensive linemen.
No, exactly.
Facts.
It's all relative.
It's all relative, right?
Exactly. And so he had to create his own yardage consistently. And I haven't done a deep dive on those guys up front, but there's not a single one of them that's getting drafted this year, the Boise State offensive line.
Right.
Facts.
So, yeah, 100%. And it's not like, the quarterback's fine, but it's not like they had an explosive passing game. So, teams knew what the offense wanted to do, and they still couldn't stop them. And, you want to see
that's all facts.
everything you want to see from a running back is on that Boise State tape. And so if it would not be surprising if he ends up being a Cowboy, and, you can – the Boise State connections, the running back connection, it makes a lot of sense.
No doubt, man. Shout out to Dre. All right, so I'm all in favor of figuring it out. Let's go get Jeanty if he's there at 12. Now, granted, T-Mac, I get it. If he's there, then I wouldn't be over here crying over this particular situation. Even whoever we may go get, ladies and gentlemen, we still have to allow the full picture to be developed. But I can see, and I got Ashton Jeanty still as my number one running back out of this draft. I do like other running backs, by the way. I do like the Ohio State boys. I do like my guy Omarion Hampton. But here's the craziest thing. If you pick up Ashton Jeanty and put him on the Carolinas, if you just swap Omarion Hampton with Ashton Jeanty, will he be able to do the same thing there? Because the talent level is not like Carolina played against some powerhouse teams, by the way. But if you were to do those switch and swap them, would Hampton do the same thing at Boise like Jeanty was doing, right? So you got to ask yourself those things as well. So you got to look at the complete picture. I look at these players from an individual, plus I look at these players from an aspect.
Let's talk about
I look at these players as an aspect of this right here, ladies and gentlemen, of what they're going to do when they get the silver and blue and the star on the side of their helmet as a real complete unit. Ashton Jeanty never ran behind a Tyler Smith. He never had the chances and opportunity to run behind a Cooper Beebe because they don't have those kinds of talents in Boise, and you can make the same argument across the board against anybody that's drafted. But I would love to see teams try to load the box and have one-on-ones to the outside with C. Dangerous Lamb or vice versa, baby. That's all I'm getting at, Cowboy Nation. So when you look at this complete picture and you say to yourself, all right, cool, I get it. You may be thinking about X, Y, and Z player. But, man, if your mind is set right to the right things, ladies and gentlemen, it can all happen. But to be real in 1,000 with y'all, my guy CJ Nix, man, he came out with this particular mock draft, and this could be the future. This is the most realistic mock draft that I've seen in a long time, and they may go with a tackle, right? They may go with a Maxwell, and then Trey Harris. Shout out to my guy Trey. I ain't gonna get mad at Trey. And then I can see Quinn Ewers, but Brooks at the halfback down the stretch in the 5th round. It could be the Cowboys' way, right? Not valuing a running back early, right? And they could go with this particular model. That's very much so like the Cowboys' way, right? But let me know how you guys feel. Send me your mock drafts and beyond, and we'll do a review assessment on it and these sorts of things. Cowboy Nation, post me your thoughts, post me your concerns down below. I'm going to say this again, my RB1 is Ashton Jeanty. I think that he will bring us plenty. DC for life, not for sure. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. And that's your guy, Nix, man. Always delivering good information and intel. Let's get it. DC for life, not for short. Peace. I'm up out of here. And let me look at that mock draft one more time. Your guy, Nix, man. Did I call him CJ earlier? Well, your guy, Nix. You guys get what I'm saying. This guy had one of the most efficient mock draft out here of what the Cowboys really might do. And it's crazy. Yeah. He's getting us ready for the situation here. DC for life, baby. We up out. Peace.